Alright guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making a keto onion ring. Anyway, let's get started. So we're gonna do an onion. So I'm just gonna show you quickly, step by step, how simple it is to make your homemade onion rings at home. We're gonna cut the little top off so that we can peel it. Because you're gonna take off the top layer. If I start crying, I mean, I swear, I wish I had goggles. Oh my god, I should get some of these goggles. I'm actually really sensitive to onion, so I better hurry because like my whole face turns red and stuff if the fumes get me. Do you guys know any tricks so you don't cry? I'm not even joking. I usually make my mom or Nati do anything with onions because it like burns so bad. It burns like the back of my eye socket. I feel like I'm more sensitive than the norm. Okay, so we have our little onion now. So we're gonna cut about a 1/2 inch thick rings. Okay, so now we're gonna separate our onion rings. So this is what they're gonna look like. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm ready for this. Okay, so we're going to.
Myra.
Let's be serious. I really was gonna wear them, but if they weren't dark. Okay, so we're just going to separate these really quickly. We're gonna put all of our onions. Then we're going to get our breading. Now that we have some of our onions out, we're going to make our breading. So the breading is super simple. We have some pork rind crumbs. So just pork rind. Throw those in. Then we have our almond flour. We have our baking powder. Throwing our baking powder in. We're gonna give this a small little whisk before we throw in our parm. And now we have our Parmesan. I'm using Asiago, but you can use Parmesan and they both work. Give that a good little mix. This is now our breading. Now we have our egg and heavy cream. Just throw that in and we're going to whisk. Okay, so for your breading, we're gonna do some pepper and salt. You might want to use about 1/2 teaspoon depending on so what's important is whether or not your pork rinds are already seasoned. If they are, then you might not even want to add any salt. If they have no salt, then you'd want to add anywhere between I would say about 1/2 teaspoon. And then we're gonna do a little paprika. And we will give this a mix. Because remember, the Parmesan has salt, it's salty, and then the pork rinds have a little bit of salt. So, but if yours don't, then you'll want to add a little more salt, just depends. But everything will be, obviously the full recipe is going to be in the, linked in the description below. And a printable version is on my website at lowcarblove.com. So make sure you check that out. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Quickly, I'm going to put all of our onions onto our plate because I'm actually going to have them sit on here after we bread them, okay? So we're gonna do onion, we're gonna do egg, bread your onion ring. Okay, so here is our first onion ring, and now we're just going to finish them up and I will show you what we do next. So now that we finished coating everything, this is what it's gonna look like. And you can either make it in your air fryer or you can actually fry them. So if you are frying them, I am going to show you, I'll do a little test just so you can see the difference. But if you have an air fryer, then you obviously you almost use no oil. Like I'm literally just gonna spray with avocado oil and that's gonna be all the oil we use. If you fry them, then of course you know you're gonna use more oil. You can use avocado. Avocado would probably be, avocado and coconut are probably the two best because they have a higher smoking point. but if all you have is olive, you can use olive as well. Okay, so we just have a little avocado oil and we're just gonna spray. We're gonna grab our little tongs. And this one here, I ended up double. Can you see that? I double coated that. I wanna see how it comes out because I wanna see, imagine they come out like super crispy. I usually just do one and they come out nice and crispy, but what about two? What about a double coat? Obviously I have a little small air fryer. It's time, I need a bigger one because look at, like I can only put 4 of them in. But we're gonna do it. We're going to set it at 400 degrees and we will check them in about 10 minutes, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to move over to the stove and I'm gonna fry a few of these stove tops so that you can see the difference between the air fryer and the stove top. So let's go. All right guys, so here are our onion rings. So this is what we have. Let's go into my favorite part of this entire video, which is the taste test. I do have a little bit of ketchup because I love ketchup with my onion rings or French fries, and you know about that spicy life. So we're just gonna do a little bit of sriracha. But we're going to do one of the fried version of the regular. So this one was made with pork rinds. And we're just gonna go in for the taste test. So good. This is the air fryer version of the one made with pork rinds, okay? It's good, but I would say you definitely don't get the onion ring crisp. You know what I mean? You don't get the onion ring, like the crunch that you're really looking for, but you also don't deep fry it. So you kind of have to wait out. Either way though, it's really, really good. So I think whichever version you end up going with, you're gonna be really happy. I would just say that these of course give you like the onion ring experience. Like you're really going to feel like you're eating onion rings. All right guys, so there you have it. Keto onion rings. Honestly, I feel really proud of this recipe because I feel like it almost feels like a guilty, you know, like a little guilty pleasure, but you're not going off plan. You're not gonna get kicked out of ketosis. You're gonna stay, you know, you're gonna keep it low carb all the way across and it's super delicious. So the only thing I would say is if you love ranch, I would probably go with like a ranch. I love ketchup and that's what I have on hand right now. So I went with ketchup, but ranch, Alzin, like whatever you typically dip your onion rings in, like a special, like a house, you know, like a house dressing, that's what you would want to go with. Other than that, they are great. You're gonna love them. You can make them in the air fryer. I made them stovetop. I used avocado oil. But other than that, you guys are gonna love this. I can't wait for you guys to try it. The printable version will be in the description below. I'm gonna put a link for you that actually links you to my website, which is lowcarblove.com, where you will have not only this recipe, but a ton of exclusive recipes that are not on YouTube or anywhere else. All right, guys, and if you still want a little more of me, make sure you're following me on Instagram and on TikTok, which is at Low Carb Love, where I just share more meal ideas and just a glimpse into my everyday life. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.